All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new live edition of Pod by the Bay, proudly presented by the Bay Area Examiner. I'm your host, Nathan Bond. Joining alongside me, Seth Farnador, Robert Steeg. Guys, we got through the NCAA tournament. Both of them, they were thrilling. One shining moment happened. That's always a fun capper to March Madness. Does USF men's and women's basketball have enough combined to play a pickup game right now, Steeg?
No.
Tough stuff.
Unfortunately. Very
Tough
unfortunately.
stuff.
Well, I think the question, to answer that question, you just have to know, are there 10 women on the women's roster? Because currently, I could show you the men's roster.
Please do.
Here's the men's roster. Unless Chris Mack's going to get out there. They have nobody to contribute currently.
As a purveyor and player of YMCA basketball in my youth, old white men are a bucket. They are just a bucket and wide pickup ball. I assume Chris Mack can still shoot the rock and do a little bit of something. But the portal opened today, correct? Today, Tuesday, April 7th.
Yes.
At midnight.
So it's been open for about 20 hours and 40 minutes. The last remnant of the men's basketball team entered the portal when Gavin Hightower announced on Tuesday that he was also joining the rest of the team into the portal. Steve, this is just the new normal at this point, right? Like, really, Michigan kind of got the rap of just being like a bunch of mercenaries. This is just college basketball. Like, it's bad with football, but you still have 100 guys that you can retain half. But with college basketball, it just kind of feels like it's going to be turnover every single year.
Yeah, I mean, of course there's exceptions, which are now feeling very much like exceptions. But, I mean, you look around the college basketball landscape. I mean, this, not to the extent of USF's, which USF's was obviously very different. Most of the team had either graduated and was out of eligibility, or your head coach left. So the remaining 7 guys decided to depart. So if you look at it that way, again, I believe my number's correct, 7 guys into the portal out of USF. So really not as many as you'd think, less than half the team. But of course, most of those guys are going to either follow Hodgson, head back to greener pastures. Chris Mack's system isn't exactly the same as what Brian Hodgson was running. And I mean, if you listen to Chris Mack's intro press conference and some of the quotes that he had after to the media, you could probably go ahead and assume that no one was coming back. It was, hey, we're going to have some one-on-one conversations with these guys. And that one-on-one conversation probably said, hey, what do you need from us for the next week or two? The gym's going to be open. Your papers can be in the portal as soon as you need it. Thank you so much for the conference championship. Thank you so much for the NCAA tournament appearance. Best of luck to you and yours in your future endeavors. And that's perfectly all right, man. Like, it sucks, but that's the current system that we have right now. It's free agency in college basketball. I mean, there's I think they said 2,000 entrants into the transfer portal already. A lot of those guys were in the portal already prior because coaching changes happened so early. And when coaching hires happen 5 days after, those guys can now enter the portal. So you looked at, like a Tristan Beckford entered before the portal because he was able to, and so did all of these other. And you have to be in the portal to get tampered with, to get these conversations flowing. So it's just the current reality of college basketball. There's no hard rules. There's no transfer eligibility requirements. the only thing withholding you from going to your new university is can your credits transfer over. And even then, that's not even much of a issue nowadays with how community colleges work and everything. So no surprises. Whole new roster coming in. As Alex say, a lot of new friends to be made around the old Selman Center at this point.
Yeah, USF had 9 players enter the transfer portal. Also, update on the pickup game. The women's basketball roster also currently has 0 players on it. So, student managers, maybe you could maybe get a game going with student managers.
But unfortunately, all those student managers are now in Rhode Island for the
the women's on the women's staff. We got 5. I guess you could get a full game. There's 5 managers. So,
like 3-on-3, half court, rebounds. You got to take behind the 3-point line, 1s and 2s. We got this. Totally normal. I guess it's kind of a question for maybe a different day, but something needs to be done with the portal. It's getting kind of chaotic. I think the golden child for the transfer portal in college basketball is PJ Haggerty. He's going to be on his 5th school in 5 years. In what world is that normal?
I saw a good one today. University of Georgia, Dominique Wilkins had his number retired. They unretired the number so his son could wear it. He has entered the transfer portal after 1 season at Georgia. So it's nothing sacred.
What are we doing, man?
So
what are we doing?
Yeah, it's not great. It hurts. I think it's the good side of it is I bet you Michigan fans would tell you today that it's great, it's awesome. Right? Like if you get the right guys in, it's awesome. But it's really your whole, which I guess in some ways it always was. But your whole feelings on teams now, it's not so much guys you've seen grow. It's more, did they win something this season or not? If they didn't, there's no like redeeming qualities, I guess, besides winning. So was last year a successful year for USF basketball? Yep, it was. Is next year going to be successful? If they win at the same level or better, yes. If not, no, because there's no kind of, you don't get to see the other side of it where it's like your program's growing, you see guys get better as they get older. All that stuff's out the window. So it's just become so transactional. And with how many teams, like I think the biggest difference between basketball and football is like there's not a lot of high points in football. Like there's not those teams at these smaller schools where it's like there's not a lot of Providences in football, right? Like they don't. These teams that can really there's so many more teams that can pay money in basketball. And there's, going out and spending a premium on one guy can really change your team. So if you can go be that guy somewhere, you can get paid. And so it is crazier in basketball than it is in the roster. So much smaller that you lose a few guys and you're flipping your roster. You could, and then now we're seeing with the coaches leaving, you could lose every single person that's on scholarship potentially. So
I just ever seen on scholarship. You could lose the entire staff too. Brother, don't dream too big here.
I mean, you thought losing the equipment manager in football was bad. I mean, I guess did they leave the equipment person for basketball?
No. They left too. Don't worry.
A lucrative equipment manager opportunity here in Tampa.
I mean, good Lord, it's tough to, as a fan, sit here and tell you, oh, I'm so excited for next year when there's literally nothing. There's going to be, minor joy if they, land a semi-big fish, right? Like a bunch of these I would assume there's going to be some guys from College of Charleston, maybe a couple people from Xavier, whatever connections that Chris Mack has, that there's people in the portal. But I mean, it's tough, man. I don't love it. I mean, it was kind of bad last year going. Like there was still a lot of turnover from last year, but obviously the difference between going into last year and this year is starkly different. Going off the Ben Fletcher kind of interim stuff. So I get the portaling there, but it's tough, man, to just be like, I'm so excited for this. And you make the jokes and, hey, you just get, 30 new friends on 2 new basketball teams. It's like, I like to see the development. You play, college football, 26. I'm in year 2041. Like, I like seeing the development of players. All right. So this is maybe this is just I've got a thorn in my paw on this. And one free transfer, and then you got to sit out. Like, there's got to be some sort of penalty for we're bouncing year to year.
Yeah. I think that's, we could solve all the problems today, but we're probably not going to solve the problems today. It's becoming much. And I think you're seeing the fatigue across the spectrum of college sports. And so if there's solace that USF fans can take in, is that misery loves company, and this is not a microcosm of USF. This is not a USF problem. This is not the same old South Florida. This is not the bad years under Orlando Antigua have culminated to this moment. This is reality. This is reality for almost every single college sports team in the country. The more money that's involved, the more likely you're going to see that turnover year in and year out, because these kids are unfortunately being told the grass is greener, the money is more plentiful, the opportunities are better at every other place. And so the real shocker of it is not necessarily, it used to be, oh my God, I cannot believe that such and such entered the portal. Now the shock is, oh my God, I can't believe he announced he's returning. But even if he announces he's returning, like so many kids have done over the last couple of weeks, that doesn't mean that they're actually going to stay. There have been multiple instances of players announcing, hey, I'm going to run it back. We're going to go in for another year. And guess what? Midnight hit yesterday. They're in the portal today. And it's the unfortunate reality of where we're going to be in for the next little bit until someone that's not, a certain politician can, stand up and make a decision and start enforcing the rules. Because even at this point, the tampering is out of control prior to the portal even opening. Players are being forced to reach out to other players to gauge their interest in leaving, well before the NCAA tournament selection committee even sits down for the first time. So it's just a wild, wild west of things. And as a fan, it sucks to watch. The only solace you can do is just root for the name on the front instead of the name on the back. But even then, it looks like a bunch of nameless faces in the crowd at some point that we're going to be on our 5th head coach in the last 5 years, and probably 50 or so different players have come and gone since that time, not including our current 15. So you're looking at almost 70 different players in 5 years.
Who was the last 4-year player at USF basketball?
I was going to look that up before.
Mark Kalea. I mean, like a walk-on. There's just no way it's not. Or like Jake Bodway. Like, it's brutal. We kind of touched on over the last few months and year how this transfer portal has kind of deteriorated the sport in college athletics. We pretend that it's like minor league sports, or basically as close to professional sports as possible without it actually being professional sports. But you don't see the same turnover in professional sports. So if you want, there was that massive study that came out, Rob Higgins was part of it, about how USF is running their athletic department like it's a pro sports, department, like a pro sports franchise. all of these guys get 4-year contracts. All of the new guys get 4-year contracts. Like, there's got to be something that tethers you to a place for longer than, it's not even a year. Like, let's cut the crap. It's not a year. It's like 8.5 months. I got asked the other day, do they even really need to go to class? I was like, well, it's like online. So like, probably not. Like, it's just, they're literally just, I bet if you blindfolded anyone from who was on USF's roster this past season for those 8 months, spun them around, blindfolded them, put them in the center of campus, and told them, get back to the Muma Center, they would have trouble doing so.
By the way, I think Corey Walker actually was our last 4-year player.
Oh wow!
So
I was going to say, is it Mike McCluskey? That was my guess. I saw him up in Birmingham. So yes, all of these things are true. Seth, you and I talked to Casey Keeler in July of last year, and he said quite frankly, he said one of the reasons he didn't take the Delaware job, which was his alma mater, they didn't have online classes, and he can't compete unless he's got online classes for his kids. That's just kind of where these things are now. These kids don't go. They're not regular students like we were regular students. It's become a completely divorced reality. And yeah, they got to do something about it. But, when I met Charlie Baker, he was too busy wagging his finger in my face about player prop bets for me to even get down the path of what this is. So, and I might go to NACTA again this year, so might bump into old Chucks again. We'll see what happens. I look, this is karma for 100 years of oppression. This is karma for 100 years of exploitation. This is karma for bad people who took all the money and hid under this absolute sham of amateurism, which has some racial overtones to it, quite frankly. And it has changed college sports forever. So we're going to come out of this better on the other side. It's just, how long is it going to take to get there? And an executive order has no weight of law and can't change anything, and that does nothing. I mean, it just legally does absolutely nothing. We need a union. I've said this, to be fair, I was ahead of the curve on this. When I worked there, I was saying they need a players union. You know what I mean? 20 years ago. We need a union. We need collective bargaining. It's the only way this gets fixed.
Well, that's the only way it won't get struck down in court. Like,
yeah,
when you go, no matter what the rules they make as of now, unless it involves some type of collective bargaining, as soon as you take it to court, it's going to get overturned. So there's no way to have anything defined, right? Like, you have to have some type of collective bargaining, which will be, I don't know. I think what's funny is I think most coaches maybe 20 years ago would have, we saw it, wasn't it Northwestern, and it was kind of like, that's what I'm saying. That's like 10 years ago, right? Or probably now.
Pat was
in the basketball
actively.
Team?
No, it was football team. It was football.
But now I guarantee you, all those coaches that you talked to,
please sign that union card that I 10 and 15 years ago was threatening to run you in practice if you sign that union card, and now I'm begging you to sign that union card
now. So
the hypocrisy is it's the same people. That's the problem with this damn industry. The same idiots from 20 years ago who are saying, "Oh, there's no more money. We'll all be broke if we have to pay the players. Oh, we're all going to be so poor."
There has to be some guardrails put in, because if it goes much longer, you're going to see sports get cut left and right. Like, you're going to have to. Where's the money going to come from?
The NCAA tournament ratings this year were a record high.
Yeah. Okay. So, but if you're in a position of, I've got to justify every expense now because I've got to share my revenue, like, I'd start cutting sports pretty quick that don't make any money. I know there's some federal issues, but that's where, like, you're going to see. I think you're going to see a lot of unintended consequences potentially, which is why it'd be. I think it'd behoove everyone to fix things quickly. Which
is that your considered opinion counselor? Like, I mean, I think that they're probably.
But I'm just it. There's going to be. I don't see a world where. Obviously, we don't see a world where this can continue. I think just you'll start to lose some interest if it just continues like this for a long time.
No, you won't.
I think you will.
The ratings for the football playoff were through the roof. This was the highest rated NCAA tournament in forever. It generated more revenue than NCAA tournament ever. College sports will be fine. You don't think that there's going to be waning interest if it consolidates at the top totally? No, because people are rooting for this. And by the way, if you're listening and you're not watching, I'm holding up a San Diego State shirt. I'm not even holding up a USF shirt. I'm holding up a San Diego State shirt.
How about, would you say Nathan Bond is a big fan of USF athletics?
I would say so, yes.
Nathan Bond just said, I don't know if you were on or not,
no.
But basically he has no excitement for basketball for next year.
Yeah, because he lost all his team. I totally get it.
How many people are going to, like, if this
Talk to Nathan Bond when they go to Vegas and win some tournament out there in late November, early December. He's going to be like, oh, look at this. Hey, we're running. You know, there were an awful lot of people who didn't give a damn about USF basketball until they won 11 in a row to close out the regular season.
And you don't sell season tickets, and after you
they're going to sell because the diehards are going to buy the tickets. Like, look, everyone has, since Walter Byers, non-college graduate, by the way, since Walter Byers came through and said, oh, you know, if you don't give us your TV rights, if all the TV rights aren't consolidated, it'll be the death of college sports all over America. We have said this for 70 years, over and over, and going back even before that to like George Gipp, okay, like being accused of paying players. Like this goes back forever.
The Gipper?
It will be fine. It will always be fine. There will always be enough money. It will work itself out. How long that process takes, how many stupid people have to continue to say stupid things, how much you know, legal, what is it, billing hours are undefeated. There's going to be more billing hours on this than anything. Like, that's going to happen. It's going to be fine. We are just going through an elongated process. But the reason this process is so elongated is because the NCAA has been breaking the law for 100 plus years. So it's going to take a while to work itself out. If we're still dealing with this in 2022, 2032, 2033, all right, I might start to get concerned. We're not going to be. It's going to take years. I would be surprised if we come up with a better system before like 2029, 2030.
Do you think there's a split that will basically...
The split will help.
Like,
but
there's going to go, you know...
But what happens with the split?
Traditional model.
But here's the thing. What happens when the split happens? Oh, well, then you have another antitrust suit. And that's from all the schools like us who would be left on the other side of that wall, who say that now we don't have access to a national championship. Now we don't have access to play against the schools that we were playing before because they've split off. We are state public institutions. These other public state institutions can't deprive us of that opportunity. That's a whole other lawsuit. And then you get down a whole other legal rabbit hole. It's gonna take forever. We need collective bargaining. We need
Siri.
We need Siri to tell us that we're not on our bicycle anymore. It's gonna be fine. Like, everyone needs. It's not the death of college sports. It's not the end. It's ugly. Like, I didn't like seeing, what is it? Over half of the ends of Division I basketball enter the portal today, right? It's over 50%. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
That sucks. Like, I don't think that's great. But this is just a transition period. There's going to either be some sort of federal law, or there's going to be some kind of union bargaining. And I think it'll probably be the latter. I think we're going to get some kind of collective bargaining that's going to get approved. And we'll go to some sort of rules that make sense. But until then, karma, bitches. Like, you oppressed these kids. I still got friends that I went to college with that were student athletes that still have injuries, that still can't get care. Sorry, y'all. That ain't happening anymore. And it happened on the back of people. You know, it's the Bob Bowlesbys. It's the Bubba Cunninghams. It's the sons of bitches who all told us, I don't want to call them sons of bitches as people, but I'm saying it's It's the people who told us that, oh God, if we paid the athletes, it would be the death of college sports and everything. And yet more revenue is generated in the fiscal year 2025 than ever in the history of college athletics by I think it's a double-digit mark. Get out of here. It's going to be fine. It just sucks right now, but they'll figure it out and it will be fine.
Colin, it's probably a rhetorical question. Are you as surprised that college athletics was just so vastly ill-prepared for
Not at all.
this?
No, I knew I worked with idiots. People are morons. This industry, and this is my biggest complaint about college athletics, is that it is so insular because they all feel like that they can get in the huddle. And I used to be one of those people in the huddle, except I was the one from the outside going, maybe we should play with the outside a little bit more. Maybe, but they feel like, we're just going to get criticized for whatever we do because the media. So it gives people such a convenient excuse to go with this group thing because, those people over there, they can't possibly understand what the microscope and what we're dealing with every day. And bullshit. It's always been bullshit. And so it allows for this group thing and it allows for this insular thinking. Well, I don't know if it happens, but when one group of people continues to pass on the same genes over and over and don't really spread out, it's not really good. And we have just had such groupthink in this industry since forever. So no, I'm not surprised. They're like, the legal counsel will take care of it. We'll win, or blah, 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 blah. No, of course they were not prepared because they couldn't possibly conceive of a world where we ever had to give the kids the money that was going in their paychecks. Oh no. And meanwhile, you go to so many schools now with these multi, tens of millions, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars facilities. I think they probably want that money back, even if they had a shittier locker room. Because now that's money that they could use to get players to actually improve. But instead they had so much money, they didn't know what to do with it because they couldn't pay the players. And so now you've seen this shift in dynamic and they don't, it's like their minds just couldn't comprehend that if I give a volleyball setter $1,000 a month, that the world's going to implode on itself. I got yelled at once because I drove a kid home from a practice. I was working there. She was walking back to one of those apartments on the other side of Fletcher from the Selman Center. And I said, hey, I'm not going to let you walk in the rain, get in the car. And I drove her over there. And somebody said, hey, you can't do that.
Impermissible.
That's what they were worried about. Not the fact that kid probably also had a meal plan that didn't feed her correctly. Not that kid who was a foreign kid didn't have a way was not legally able to work off campus anywhere and make any kind of money to supplement her scholarship. We weren't worried about any of that. We were worried that the communications guy for the fundraising side drove her across the street after a practice one day. I can't tell you how ass backwards this whole thing has been. And it was good because I got to see it at its peak and its height of stupid when I was working there. And I knew it was stupid, but I still, as much as I'm bitching and moaning here, I still think college athletics on the whole is overwhelmingly a positive. I've seen how it changes lives. I've seen how it gives kids an opportunity at education that wouldn't have a chance at education before. I think it is, I've seen how it brings community together. I believe in that higher plane. But that happened not because of the people running it, but despite them. And it always has.
I know it's definitely not on the agenda tonight, but I feel like it's probably a pretty important kind of conversation to have. Seth, kind of going forward 5 years from now, do you feel like the split has happened? Where do you see USF on that side of the split? If it has happened in 5 years,
I think there's going to be some type of split incoming. And I think it's going to be totally based on how much money you're willing to invest. So there will be some type of investment criteria, and if you don't meet it, you can go down to, it won't be it'll be kind of probably a step between what's now D1 football and 1AA football. It'll be kind of probably an in-between zone would be my guess. Or maybe you're allowed to do NIL, but there's no revenue sharing. I'm not sure how that'll work or not on the legal side of things. I just know that a lot of schools will be strapped for money if they got to kind of extend this out. And I already know I've talked to people at collectives that are like, the collectives are, not everybody gets paid through a collective because they have to justify the deals now. They can't just kind of pay everybody willy-nilly. There has to be some justification. So like, there's a lot of sports where like, yeah, we don't even try in that sport because they don't bring in any money. So I'm hoping that athletic departments don't have to get to that point where it's kind of, well, they don't bring any money, so we need to get rid of that sport. I'm hoping that doesn't become an issue like it has in the collectives, because the collectives have to kind of prove out there is value there to get NIL deals for these people. So I know of schools where it's happening. It's like, yeah, I was like, you're not getting any deals for cross country? No, we're not doing any deals for cross country. So because so there's place. It's so hopefully it doesn't come to that, because I think you want to offer the wide variety of sports, and for outside of 3 sports, maybe 2 or 3, maybe more, for the most part, the value is the ability to continue playing and get an education and get hooked into an alumni network. And that, I think, is the biggest loss in what's going on now. Is my favorite example is Richie Leonard. Played at Florida at guard for 3 years, decided he was going to transfer. He transfers to Florida State. So now Florida fans, and then Florida State goes 2-10 in his year there. So, okay, now Florida State fans are going to be real jacked up for Richie Leonard to get hired for my accounting firm, so we can talk to him about that 2-10 season. Probably not. So it's like, I do think there is some of that hopefully can get brought back. But to the original question, I would think there's going to be a split based on investment. I would think where USF is now, I think they probably think similar, because they are investing so much and preparing to invest. They see themselves on on the good side of that split. So that's kind of where, especially when you kind of read we're running this like a business, that kind of thing, I think they see themselves being as part of that big group, however that shakes out. If you gun to my head, which hopefully that doesn't happen, it would be there's going to be a big split, and then it'll kind of realign from there. You'll see more common sense conferences and things like that come back into the fold, I would think. But yeah, I would imagine in the next, before the TV deals are 2030, I think you see something start happening around then. Would be my guess.
I don't think Coach C is gonna break into your office there and hold a gun to your head to get out of the contract soon. That's a deep cut for some folks right there. Let's try to get the wheels back on course of what we were trying to talk about tonight. But again, the transfer portal is the transfer portal, and I hate it, and it's been weighing on me for probably longer than I care to admit.
Colin, have you seen the men's basketball roster?
The one that doesn't exist?
No. No. There's a website for it.
Oh, well, that's cool. Oh, no way. I'm so done. It looks, it looks very similar to the Tennessee women's basketball roster. I don't know if you've seen that one. That looks very similar.
They have a heck of a game.
Woo. So look, man, it's gonna be fine. We're all, woe is me. This is the end times. This is everything, and that's everything that college sports has literally been saying for 125 years. Like it's fine. It sucks. This is not a good situation. I'm not saying it's great, but the enterprise as a whole. People, look, man, Nate's out on this team. On men's basketball, watch him win a few games in November, December. Watch how Nate feels. Okay, and to give Rob some credit here, if we want to take this a little bit local, we got a buyout for Chris Mack. Oh, you want to leave after this season? $5 million, pal. You know what I mean? Like Rob's catering to this too. He understands how we feel. He understands how this fan base feels, and he asked for a big chunk of cash for Chris Mack if he wanted to move on.
Right.
I just go ahead.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Like, Rob is started as a fan, and he's now running this enterprise as a very successful businessman that he has been for years. And
I thought he didn't know anything about raising revenue. I don't think he knew how to raise revenue. Nate, didn't you ask him that?
Yeah,
like, how does he know about raising money?
For a specific institution is crazy. Especially, I mean, let's be real. nobody's really giving USF money like just for fun. Like there's got to be a decent reason. People will give the Tampa Bay Sports Commission some money to get the Super Bowl here. What's fascinating to me is we kind of talked about in our private text thread the other day, Colin, hiring the major three in one cycle doesn't happen
right
often. And we had to like search. There was a couple of retirements for Oklahoma in 2021, plus Lincoln Riley moving to USC like that. I couldn't find any other ones. If there's anyone that can find something where they had to hire men's and women's basketball and football same cycle, that's tough. And like the job's stressful already.
And weren't we the only one that like had all three took a better job?
Yeah, two
right?
retired. Yeah, the basketball coaches at Oklahoma retired, and then Lincoln went to USC.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do this. The job's hard enough already. He doesn't want to hire these coaches year over year. So, yeah, was it $5 million for Chris Mack? I think if from now until I think April 15th, 2028, Christy Curry's is $2 million, which is still a pretty heavy buyout for a women's basketball coach when you're making like what, 800, 750, somewhere around there.
Seven something, I thought. Yeah.
I don't have the contract. Yeah, I don't have the contract in front of me, but like those are the things that lead me to believe that, like, obviously we've talked about it ad nauseum, the proper alignment, yada yada yada. But like when the people who are the decision makers actually care about athletics, this is kind of what you're going to get. And I know it's frustrating. Like I felt very gutted when like the football exodus happened and like the basketball team kind of helped buoy that. So like there's really nothing right now. Like baseball's super fun, so I'm excited for that. But like, man, it's a real sucky feeling when both rosters have just been gutted and there's not like a fun, like, you know, I've been waiting for women's tennis to like kind of take that next leap and it just hasn't happened yet. So I'm just kind of waiting for something to kind of help, and it's not there. So yeah, as of April 7th at 9:15 p.m. Eastern, like I'm not excited for men's basketball. Like it's
okay.
a weird feeling to have.
You got 6 months.
What's interesting on the baseball side is you got a pitcher off to a really hot start, and it's off to a hot start, and the other part of the conversation is where's he going to be next year?
Like
it's already started. So
of course,
it's tough, man. It's never, you can't find diamonds in the rough anymore. You have them for 1 year, and you got to maximize it. So it is a totally different kind of roster build now too.
God help you if you're a running back. I'll wear your ass out, man. There's going to be no meat on that bone for the next school in the portal. He's going to be the first 400 carry running back this year.
Put tread on the tire. And what's funny is that probably, like, I bet at smaller schools, guys like, yes, please give me all the carries I can get because I want to try to move on. I need all the tape I can get.
Yeah.
So it's
going to give a Emmitt Smith style of 300 carries in a season sort of crap. Like it's, oh God. We've been chit-chatting for about 40 minutes. Steve, before, like, we'll talk about it more in like the Ponderosa. What's kind of on the horizon for portaling in? We've talked about the portaling out and how I hate it and it's sucky and I hate the feeling. But on the flip side of that, 15 new friends. You're just going to have to hammer that home with me personally. 15 new friends. We can do it. I'm almost positive I can be happy about this. What can be on the horizon for USF basketball on either side as something exciting coming in for next season?
Actually, it's not just 15 new friends. As of right now, USF women's basketball, there are 5 girls left over who have not entered the portal. Stephanie Ingram, Fatou Diakite, Jelena Bulajic, Leah Teichman, and Serenity Hardy was not released from her NLI, not NIL. So 10 girls there. So you potentially have 25 new friends to make, Nathan. How exciting for us. No, I mean, we all knew. I mean, if you listen again to Rob Higgins' press conference for both Christy Curry and Chris Mack, they made it a point that these guys, these two, were going to build a roster, both with staff and with players, very quickly. And I can confirm to the masses that there are multiple players for both men's and women's basketball that were on campus today. But of course, Fort Rob Higgins keeps things under lock and key. So getting that information is a little bit more difficult than I want it to be. The only one that we were able to pin down is Hannah Cohn, a women's basketball transfer from Clemson. Her uncle is Reggie Cohn.
Oh,
Cohn. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. This is before my
Richie
time.
Cohn.
God, jeez, Louise. Colin.
Gee, you just made Nathan and I feel so old.
I'm so sorry.
Golly. Starstruck at Seth Greenberg's basketball camp walking by him. He can't even pronounce the guy's name right.
I at least knew his legacy.
Not just the legacy, like probably one of the top 3 point guards in the history of the program. Like kid could shoot from anywhere, played his senior year basically on a broken leg. Greenberg would run this 1-3-1 zone but they would invert it. And so Reggie was the guy under the rim at all like 6'0", 100 And like, so like as soon as the ball got down to the block, he got dunked on a lot. Like, but he could shoot from anywhere. Great passer, great ball control guy. And then the coach at Lake Highland Prep after that, where he coached the Calathis brothers.
Parsons.
I'm sorry?
Chandler Parsons.
Yeah. I mean, he coached some like really good players there for high school. So I am not surprised that he's got kin that are very good at basketball.
Kid that went to VCU too. I can't remember his name. Played on some of those good VCU teams.
Okay.
Hannah is on campus. Transfer from Clemson. Again, she's from nearby, so makes sense. But outside of that, the only one that we really know that is probably going to come from come to USF men's basketball is going to be Christian Reeves. I think that's the most logical step 1 to step 2 thing that I've seen in a long time. But outside of that, man, we're all flying a little blind at this point, aren't we? Gotta love. I don't remember who. I think it might have been Colin. I don't remember who. But we, the Bay Area Examiner, Daily Stampede, and Voodoo 5, all pretty much thrived for years because we could get a lot of information out of a, let's just call it a woefully inept athletic department who, loose lips. And, Rob Higgins just ruined my life, keeping everything under lock and key and then taunting me about it.
He's taunting you now too? I didn't hear about that.
Yes, very publicly. Not as publicly as Jose Fernandez dunking on me, but that's neither here nor there. But information will be available in our Discord as quickly as I can get it. We have separate threads for potential transfers in, a lot of rumblings, a lot of connections here and there. There's obviously the logical connections that you would look for: College of Charleston players for the men, Alabama players for the women, a few kind of deeper cuts, Xavier for the men and then Delaware for the women. But, there's girls that are wanting to transfer closer back home. There's guys that are wanting to transfer for a little bit more sunshine. We'll see what it all comes to and, what these conversations look like. But I know that they have been, they booked those flights really quick. I'll tell you, they surely at midnight didn't have those flights booked. And then, midnight hit and they worked really hard to get those flights booked, to get those guys to campus. I'm sure of it. My alma mater would never, ever, ever tamper. Ever.
No.
Ever.
No, never. No.
Not me. We play by the book here.
Fletcher and Fowler always, historically speaking, played it by the book, never have done anything nefarious throughout the entire campus, not once ever in their life.
So I would say we've played it a lot cleaner than most for like, I don't know. When I was there, like we squeaked, man. We really went out of our way to not be doing anything too untoward. And there was definitely a segment of the population who was like, hey, can we get in the mud here? Can we just start finally doing what needs to be done to get things going? But with the rules as they are now, like, why would you need to cheat? Like, why do you just call a kid's high school coach? That's all you got to do. Like, you don't have to talk to the kid directly. Call the high school coach. Be like, hey, what do you think about this kid? We think he'd be a really good fit for us. I bet you that high school coach then calls the kid. I bet you that happens. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's 900 ways to get a hold of somebody. It's not the whole tampering thing. Like, everybody, including Brian Hodgson, who I think I understand the principle behind what he's saying, but like, settle down. Like,
he was very careful with his words in that clip where he said, "Until the season's over."
Yeah, and that's fine.
Fair.
And that's fine. Yeah,
that's fair, fine. Man. You did it.
Yeah, he's going to win there. By the way, I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, that's so annoying too.
I know.
Good for him.
They took the equipment guy.
Second time the equipment guy's bounced. We lost Jeremy, and now we've lost the basketball equipment guy. Yeah, man. This is what it is. It's going to be this way for a while. But maybe it's because I'm so old and I've been through so much of it, and I know I'm not going anywhere. Like, maybe it's easier for me because I've been through so many ups and downs. Like, to me, this is just it's an up. Like, this isn't. We've been really good lately. Like, things are going really well. So, like, the fact that unfortunately we're turning over a little more of the rosters than we'd like to, I'm not too freaked out about it because I know in the long run it'll be okay. Somehow,
if you say so, man.
Yeah. You'll be all right.
Joey Rodriguez, name of the VCU guard.
Don't remember.
Furiously Googling in the background, trying to remember an obscure
point guard in the Final Four.
Oh, I don't
remember. That's good stuff.
Isn't that also the Tech linebacker's name?
Yeah. I don't think they're related. But
could be.
That'd be crazy.
But
all right.
We did talk about. Oh, you know what? Save it from Ponderosa. I got something about the leaking in the building that I'll share.
No,
but let's save that for Ponderosa.
That's called a tease. We've been live for 47 minutes.
Good job,
I think it's time to wrap up this latest edition of Pod by the Bay. Please tell your friends. Help us grow. Steve, what's the Twitter handle again?
Stieg is a moron. At Stieg is a moron.
That's the backup. That's the backup to the backup.
That's also the password. The new Twitter account is _BAE_Tampa. We just surpassed 500 followers. That's exciting. We're getting the number back up.
All right. You know what? If I'm being brutally honest, that's what's actually killed me this offseason.
Yeah, I know.
Bad, man.
You lost your
team. You Jeff Scotted the damn account.
Right.
Like, you literally Jeff Scotted the whole, like, our entire social presence.
Had crossed over 10,000 followers. Hey, man.
Let me tell you something about those 10,000 followers, though. A lot of those guys were like 2013 two-star running backs. We got
follows a follow, baby.
I'm happy our follower to thing ratio means that we can actually might be able to monetize. That was
by the way, shout out to Jamie and Ken, whose Twitter account you knew there, Steve. Yeah, because that's how old that thing was. Jamie and Ken and I all had the password for it. Like, great job. That thing was older. That thing is old enough to drink almost, like, very soon.
That's
in
like
Canada,
16.
It can.
I guess so.
It can drink.
2011.
2011. You can drink in Canada, I think, at 18, right? So it's getting close.
Make a trip over to the Bahamas. You can drink.
Yeah.
You can drink. Mm-hmm. Good job, Steve.
Anyway, just follow us, please, so I don't get more sad than I already am. Make sure you subscribe to the Ponderosa. We got a Ponderosa show coming up here once we end this live show. So make sure you tune in, tell your friends. One rapid fire question, unprepared. Seth, who you got in the Masters this week?
Ooh, I mean, Scheffler's the answer. I'd tell you who I'd like to see you win, or who would be interesting is I think Gary Woodland would be interesting.
He came off a win a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, which is good.
Massive thing for him.
Yeah. Scheffler has been playing very well, so I'm interested to see old Bryson DeChambeau out there too. So.
There we go. Colin?
So it's such a chic pick at this point, but Oberg, although he, fell apart at TPC, I think Oberg's just maybe a little too hipster. I think even Rose at this point might be getting a little too hipster because I think there's a lot of money coming in on him. This is give me the bomber, give me Scotty. If you could tailor a course for Scotty Scheffler, if the greens were a little slower, it'd be like literally what he would drop with his own hand. Like it's that good. He's just the wide open fairways just favor him so much, and then nobody has better distance control with their irons, which is what you need. So yeah, give me Scotty.
Top 5 right now is Scheffler in terms of odds. Scheffler, Rahm, DeChambeau, McIlroy, and Hebert.
What's the reaction? Who's the gallery rooting for? If it's Scotty versus Bryson back 9 on Sunday.
I think Scotty.
I hope so.
I think Scotty is the. I think Scotty's kind of the new Tiger. Where if he's in contention, that's where the people are going to be rooting for the most part.
Yeah.
In terms of average golf fan.
You know me. I just looked up the Masters odds.
Steve, have you ever heard Minwoo Lee talk?
No, I was going to say either him, Hideki Matsuyama, Chris Gotterup.
Sure.
That's a fun name. I was seeing who had the funnest name that was like somewhat reasonable.
Gotterup's been playing. He's never played Augusta before, but he's playing out of his mind right now. And Minwoo
Watson's still playing?
Yeah, he's a lifetime exempt.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
So Minwoo walking up 18, smoking a dart. That's what I want to see with like 3 putts to win, just with a nail going right up the hill on 18, baby. Let's go. Just like Artie Palmer used to do.
Hell yeah! All right, we're Minwoo Lee here.
Steve, I think you would really enjoy Victor Hovland.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He is one of the names I can recognize.
You're basically the same person. If we're being,
I think you would enjoy Victor Hovland.
Let me get a picture of Victor Hovland up on my.
I don't know if he's ever been like catfished on Twitter, but
the only other thing I'm thinking in solace is, holy shit, I've gotten a whole bunch of them too. It wasn't just me. I got 15 DMs over the last week from people that
probably from our account that they've gotten other people, and then now they're sent. Like, there's no way that like Matt Floyd, Demetrius Harris,
former friend of the pod, Brian Battiste's dad got.
Oh yeah, all these people. This is all. I'm patient
from us. Probably from us, and by us I mean you.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't say us. It's me.
Let's go back to back with Rory.
Let's go.
I mean, why not?
Playing great right now. Yeah.
I love it.
Did you see what
Sunday of the Masters lap? Yeah, well, it's not great. He's not wrong. I'm not a fan of stew. I can't stand a Sunday roast. Like, I'll give me the breakfast, but like having breakfast for like the Masters dinner, not as classy. I get it. I get it. But Rory, Sunday of the Masters last year, very important day for me. So let's run it back. It'll be fun.
Do you guys want to hear my schedule? We can do this real quick. My schedule for the weekend. So Thursday, Friday, Masters. Friday, second day, cut line. And then at 3:00, the Gasparilla Music Festival is across the street. And then Saturday, I'm going to have to like figure out like which band is playing and then like what tee time is going and then like walk back and forth across. Cause like, it's very rare you get like a good music festival, like literally on your front door. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just going to have to like figure out. And then I'm hoping my Wi-Fi stretches far enough that I can like have the Wi-Fi out there, or, the city Wi-Fi so I can watch it while I'm going over there too. Can the city figure out Masters weekend and Final Four weekend are not the weekend to do this? Like just any other weekend, please.
First world south of Kennedy problems right there, brother.
Yeah, true.
I want to see Tommy Fleetwood's kid hit it over the water this year. Do you think he can do it?
I saw a couple guys hit the skip on 16 today. They were already out there skipping it during the practice rounds. That's always so cool.
Nothing's beating Poppy's putt. That's it. Rory's daughter.
Cool.
That was drilled it. But all right. Be safe. Have fun. Have a good weekend. Make sure you tune into the Ponderosa. Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
Good Bulls.
Go Bulls.
Joe Rodriguez.